Coming up on this Monday morning edition of DITV, we give you the latest news on Dance Marathon and this year's kiddo graduation.
And later we'll give you the details on how hard the flu is hitting the United States.
We give you our thoughts on Philadelphia bringing home a Super Bowl win.
And Iowa wrestling win to send their seniors off the right way.
Bundle up, Hawkeyes. This week we have snow galore coming your way. Find out more on weather.
All that and more coming up on this Monday morning edition of DITV.
Don't touch that dial because DITV starts right now.
Guys, there is a
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning into this Monday morning broadcast. I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Bo Bowman. So, Becca, the big story this weekend, obviously, Dance Marathon. I was there as a reporter. You were there as a dancer. Tell me a little bit about your experience.
Well, you know, Bo, that was my first time attending the big event, and honestly, I have nothing but good things to say. It was a lot harder than I expected, though, that's for sure, but definitely all worth it by the time we got to see that big tote board.
All for a good cause. An excited crowd celebrated a record-shattering year for Dance Marathon this weekend. The organization revealed a final total of over $3 million. And at the end of the big event on Saturday, this is the second largest amount ever raised by a university participating in Dance Marathon and the largest ever raised by the University of Iowa. The organization has raised over $21 million in its 24 years at Iowa. All money raised will go directly to the Stead Family Children's Hospital.
This record-breaking number was not the only notable thing to happen at the big event. For 17 young people, it was the first day of the rest of their lives. DITV News reporter Christopher Cervantes has more.
On the second day of Dance Marathon's big event, all the participants and leadership gather in the main lounge of the Iowa Memorial Union to celebrate kiddo graduation. This is reserved for the kids in the program who have gone 5 years without treatment. This means that their cancer has a significantly low chance of coming back and that they are considered cancer-free.
So now, graduates, 5 years from the end of your therapy, I ask you to build upon the hardship you've endured through your cancer treatment and confronting future challenges in life. Hopefully, the upcoming obstacles in life will seem like a piece of cake compared to what you've accomplished so far.
This year, 17 graduates were honored. Emotions were high throughout the entire lounge, with audience members feeling both elated and hopeful.
Gives me hope for not only them and their families, and I guess relief for their families as this is a major milestone in their lives to defeat cancer like this. But it gives me hope that my son will be walking on that stage.
With the sheer amount of effort and passion behind all involved, it looks like these graduation numbers will only go up. Reporting from the Iowa Memorial Union, this is Christopher Cervantes, DITV News.
Thank you, Chris. Sorry for those technical difficulties there. Now, Iowa legislators are putting together an effort towards clean water protection in Iowa.
Last week, the Iowa State Legislature passed a $282 million water quality bill. In doing so, the Water Quality Infrastructure Fund will be deposited in the Rebuild Iowa Infrastructure Fund.
For people living in urban areas such as Iowa City, the water bill would only protect tap water if they're going to improve the source water.
For a more in-depth look at the bill, check out today's front page of the Daily Iowan, where Tian Liu has more. And while all local eyes were fixed on Dance Marathon in the fight against cancer, another disease was making its mark across the United States. Joining us in the segment studio, we have DITV News reporter Sydney Zatz with a special report on the flu. Sydney, what can you tell us?
Thanks, guys. The flu epidemic has been in the news the last few weeks, and it is not letting up. 42 states in the last week have seen high levels of flu activity. This year alone, 53 children have died because of the flu. One reason being the virus H3N2 is the most common virus this season. H3N2 is a subtype virus that causes influenza. This typically means more cases of the flu, hospitalizations, and death, with the elderly being the most affected group of people. Doctors and health officials say getting the flu shot is your best defense. If you do get the flu, antiviral medications can help and should be taken as soon as possible. Flu shots are recommended for everyone 6 months of age and up, so take care of yourself and stay well. Bo, Becca?
Well, Becca, the fight against flu definitely not being helped by the weather. It snowed all weekend long and just not pleasant outside.
No, definitely not, Bo. It's been freezing. I think last night it was somewhere around 0 degrees for most of the big game. And I heard we're supposed to get some snow later today.
Yeah, and a couple schools in the area have already announced they're closing early or didn't even have school today. Let's toss it over to Joe in the weather studio with more.
Thanks, guys. This week's going to be very cold with our highest temperature for the week reaching a not so high of 25 degrees. Today we're going to see snow out there. Just like you said, Becca, the snow is going to reach about 3 to 5 inches, though. Tonight we're going to see those temperatures drop all the way down to about -1 degrees. So with some light wind, so bundle up, guys. It's going to be a rough night. Let's take a look at our extended forecast. Thursday will be a partly cloudy day with temperatures reaching a high of 18 degrees. Wednesday we're going to look at partly cloudy day with temperatures reaching 22 degrees. Thursday is going to be one of the warmest days of the week at 25 degrees. For Thursday, the temperature is going to be dropping down even lower for this coming week. Wednesday, we're looking at some light snow in the morning and temperatures in the low 20s. Saturday, we're going back to some partly cloudy skies with temperatures reaching all the way down to single digits. And that's your weather for the week. Make sure you head outside with hats, gloves, and scarves and all the essentials. Bo and Becca, back to you at the desk.
Now, just because it isn't a presidential election year doesn't mean Iowa isn't back in political season. That's right, today is caucus day. Republicans, Democrats, and libertarian activists will hold internal elections to select the people who decide the future of the state, with selected delegates and committee members having key roles for the next 2 years. Stick with DITV News as we bring you updates and results.
The Cyclocross World Cup will pedal back to Iowa City for a 3rd time this fall. This will make Iowa City the only city in North America to host the bicycle race 3 times. The Cyclocross World Cup will be held alongside Iowa City's Jingle Cross event during the last weekend in September. Past World Cup events have brought $1 million each to the local economy.
So obviously, big story this morning. The Super Bowl was last night. I know I went to bed happy. Eagles beat the Patriots, which is always fun to watch.
Absolutely, Bo. And I mean, I definitely wouldn't really consider myself a true Eagles fan, but whoever's playing against the Patriots is probably someone I'm going to be rooting for.
Let's toss it over to Lucy and Alec in the sports studio who have more on the big game.
Thanks, guys. And Lucy, if I told you that Nick Foles would be our Super Bowl MVP at the top of the season, would you believe me?
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, it's certainly sunny in Philadelphia now. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Patriots last night, 41-33. And the story is about Nick Foles beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl in 2018, considering he almost quit football before deciding to give it one more chance. And now look at him. Super Bowl champ and Super Bowl MVP. A pretty good choice to stay.
Yeah, it definitely was. And it was just such a fun game to watch. But I do want to say I'm sorry to our sports director, Mary Kate. I know she's probably still very upset, but come on, Gronk looked good and Brady threw for over 500 yards. So yeah, they lost, but they lost to a good team. And I'm just waiting for the Cowboys to be back there, hopefully next year.
I'm a Bears fan. I'll wait 25 plus years. This weekend, Iowa Wrestling hosted not one, but 2 duels against Big Ten opponents.
Friday night, the Hawks took on Minnesota. Brandon Sorensen kicked the night off with a pin at the 149 weight class. Then Michael Kimmer picked up the major decision at 157 over 18th-ranked Jake Short while recording 5 takedowns in the first 2 periods. At 125, Spencer Lee continued his dominance with a 15-0 technical fall over former NCAA finalist and 6th-ranked Ethan Lizak. Hawks won that one 34-7.
Then on Sunday, the Hawks celebrated Senior Day as they hosted Northwestern. The Hawks won the first 6 matches of the duel. The last 2 wins of that streak came by technical falls from Michael Kemmerer and Alex Marinelli. Mitch Bowman picked up a major decision at the 184 weight class, and Sam Stoll closed out the meet with a 4-0 decision over the Wildcats' Conan Jennings. The Hawks took that one 33-22, and here's what the team had to say after the meet on Friday night.
Everybody's got the scouting report on Sorensen, but when he's wrestling like he's been wrestling and it's fast, we like how his scoring goes right through the roof.
You know, I went out there, I was moving good, got to where I wanted, ended up how I wanted it, so just keep it that way.
The Big Ten conference, and no one's going to lay down. So you got to push your pace, and Iowa style is no one can match it. So I shoot, I score. He shoots, I score. So.
Iowa's next test is this Saturday at Penn State, who just took down the top-ranked Ohio State in a thriller of a meet. And we'll have a preview of that later this week.
Following an overtime road victory over Michigan State last week, the women's basketball team was back in action against Minnesota at home yesterday.
Early in the first, Kathleen Doyle hits Mackenzie Meyer with a long assist that she drains for three to help Iowa get off to a 13-3 run.
Iowa never trailed in this one as Meyer hits Gustafson with the pass down low that she converts into a basket. The Hawks took this one 92-84.
I really like the team basketball. We have 5 people in double figures. We have 20 assists on 29 baskets. And so, again, I think that team basketball is so good for us, and obviously really, really happy to see the threes drop tonight.
Iowa will be back at home this Thursday where they'll face Penn State. The men's gymnastics team had their first home meet of the year this weekend against the 4th-ranked Fighting Illini. In the first rotation, senior Mark Springett finished with a season-best 13.9 on the floor.
On the pommel horse, senior Austin Hodges finished second with a score of 14.200.
On the rings, Iowa recorded a season-high score of 67.6, which was topped off by a 13.8 from junior Rogelio Vasquez. And on the vault, Ellsworth took home the event title with a 14.45, which helped Iowa finish with a season-best 69.7 event score.
Hodges finished with a 13.850 on the parallel bars and took home the second event title of the meet for the Hawkeyes. Iowa also recorded a season best on this event with a 66.350, and on the final rotation of the meet, Iowa earned yet another season best with a 65.500. But that wasn't enough as Iowa finished second with a score of 401.850.
To jump in front of them, we did not capitalize. We can't count falls, and we did several on high bar, and we still had a couple on horse. But in the grand scheme of things, we're better each weekend. They improved on a lot of stuff that we were focused on, and we need a few other things that we need to clean up going into the next weekend.
Iowa will face the top-ranked Oklahoma Sooners on the road this weekend. With the women's Big Ten championships less than 2 weeks away and the men's just 3, the swimming and diving team hosted their last home meet of the season on Friday against Western Illinois.
For the women's team, Joe Jekyll won both the 50-meter back and the 50-meter fly to orchestrate the sweep for the Hawks. The 400 Melody team hyped up the Hawks ahead of their big meet with a stellar performance.
On the men's side, the team posted several personal bests in their final meet. Michael Tinney swam a 46.05 in the 100-meter free, and Tom Schaub had a season's best to win the 500 free.
Both for us and Western, it's a final tune-up as we head into our conference meets, and we had some exhibition, we were able to have a little fun with some of the stuff, but really, in seriousness, they're still battling for positions on relays and so forth. Across the board, though, it looked like we had some real nice performances, and for some of the best of our dual meet season at least. And it's a great place to be heading into the championship season.
An impressive meet for the women's team, who are excited to head to the Buckeye State for the Big Ten championships that start next Wednesday. The men will follow up as they head north to Minneapolis to compete in their championships a week later. That's all we have for you in the sports studio. Make sure to tune in tomorrow to get an inside look on Wrestling Senior Day.
And also tomorrow, tune in for more from the women's basketball game this weekend. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Well, everyone, that's a wrap on this Monday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
If that isn't enough for the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now.
And are you subscribed to the Daily Iowan's new Discover Snapchat page? Every Friday, the Daily Iowan releases a new set of segments for the Iowa City area. Don't forget to check it out. From all of us here at DITV, I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Bo Bowman. Have a great day, Iowa City. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place.